All right. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Ellis, you want to get us going?
Yes, sir. Dave, Carter Rubenbar and Zach Stewart have been pretty much two of your best hitters here lately. How much of this week has been about trying to find a way defensively to make that work and maybe moving guys around and just finding a way to get all your best bats in the lineup?
Yeah, I mean, we've definitely done that, and working with some guys at maybe positions they're not, you know, known to play a lot. Maybe played it before down the road, or back in high school and summer ball, things like that. But I don't want to take too much away from the defense, but at the same time, we need to get our bats rolling. We need to, we just need to have a little deeper lineup.
Obviously, the talent level rises when you get to SEC play, but you're also playing opponents that you've maybe seen before or have a little bit more familiarity with, or easier to find video to scout some of these guys. Does it get a little bit, I don't want to say easier, but a little bit easier to communicate with your staff and with your players about what you're facing when you're facing some opponents that have played more high level competition and you actually have maybe been around some of these guys?
Well, I think in some cases it does, but in this case, we didn't play Mississippi State last year, and so you look at, maybe their starting rotation example. They have a transfer sophomore from Virginia. They have a couple kids that were in their program last year that pitched a lot, really good pitchers that are now rotation guys. So, now it just really comes down to what we've seen and then video, but we haven't really been on the same field with them. Um, but yeah, they're really talented.
Matt, go ahead.
Hey, Dave, good morning. You've coached against Brian O'Connor a number of times, but it's been, I think, 10, 11 years since it's happened. Any similarities or differences you see in what you remember from his Virginia teams?
I would say, I'd probably be able to answer that question better after the weekend, but, watching them this year so far, a few games here and there, maybe 3 or 4 innings at a time. Looks about the same to me. I mean, he's got Coach McMullen with him, who's an outstanding offensive guy, and they still do the same things that they've always done offensively. And his teams are organized and disciplined and play as a team. I think he's done an incredible job coming over and inherited some really good players, brought some with him. I'm sure they got some out of the portal, obviously, and they're doing what he usually does, and that's win.
As far as pitching rotation, do you change it all this week or do you keep the same?
No, we'll keep the same order, same rotation.
Okay. You mentioned a second ago maybe playing or practicing some guys at new positions. Any examples?
Nah.
Okay. And then my last one for you right now is, pitching is a strength of this team. And how do you balance being really good defensively and backing up that pitching staff and knowing that you need some more offense?
Well, we're not going to do anything that's out of control, obviously, because the ball will find you if you don't know what you're doing at a position. Obviously, when the game's on the line, it's probably going to find you. So, uh, we're just trying to get guys in the lineup, and we're not going to jeopardize too much. Maybe one here, one there, but uh, I'm not even sure. Like the health of outfielders right now with the growing pull and uh, things like that. So we're still kind of figuring it out. We have another workout today, and then obviously we have all day tomorrow. And it's nice that it's warming up, and those little injuries like that seem to heal a little quicker.
Hutch, go ahead.
Yeah, Dave, you kind of touched on it there, but Stewart, how's he doing?
I'd say he's about 85% running. That's what he was the other day, yesterday, I guess the day before.
Yeah.
On Tuesday, yesterday, obviously it was a lot colder. We worked out a little later yesterday, so we'll know more today. But I've watched him sprint around pretty good in a straight line now, going left and right. That's probably still the biggest concern.
And I was looking back at when y'all signed him, Bar. He was listed as a utility guy. Did y'all kind of expect him to be a guy that you could move around and play different positions?
Yeah, in high school he played outfield, he played third base, played a little first base. Um, Obviously, his senior year he was the everyday catcher. he did tweak him. They all seem to get hurt a little bit, and it hurt his arm a little bit, but it's fine now. So, but what he is, he's athletic. I think you guys know his background. He was a really good high school quarterback at a really big school. Tough kid. He's a baseball player.
Jackson, go ahead.
Hey Dave, just wondering when you first heard maybe this summer Brian O'Connor's leaving Virginia going to Mississippi State, do you remember initial reaction, surprise, SEC pride? What do you remember about that?
Um, we were. I don't remember what the details were. We were still playing or in the World Series or something. I don't remember the date, but it didn't. I thought, wow, if he goes to Mississippi State, he's gonna love it. He's gonna love the resources and the support. And I mean, we hear all the rumors. He tried to stay at Virginia, but it just didn't work out. And hey, he made the jump. Got to give him credit.
Their team this year, I think they're top three in the SEC so far in runs, but like bottom half in homers. Is that the identity of this team, or is there untapped power potential there, you think, when you look at the lineup?
Well, when you say bottom half, we got some teams that have hit a bunch of home runs. So, they're in the 30s. That's plenty for this time of year. And, I would take a 354 batting average and 30 some home runs any day and just ride that all through the year at that pace. They're scoring a lot of runs, and they've got a really good mix of left and right-handed hitters. They have power. And you look at the lineup, it's older, it's veteran, so I don't think there's any issues with that. The team we got Georgia got 60 home runs already, which that's unbelievable when you really take a step back. I mean, that's almost record setting. So we'll see how it all continues.
I know you might be getting tired of this question, but Nolan Souza, any chance maybe soon in SEC play he could get a shot at shortstop?
Yeah, just continuing to work him, getting that arm rolling a little bit better now. Get rid of yesterday. It's going to start warming up. Going to be warm this weekend. He's not even a year out from some surgery on his shoulder, so he's doing pretty well. And I like what I saw from him swinging the bat, especially the last game. And but he can play all three positions in field, actually all four. So hopefully he'll be right in the middle of it from here on out.
I know you want to win every game, but it seemed like after Monday you were at least encouraged with the team's fight back. A lot of balls hit hard into wrong spots. Did you get a sense maybe that the team kind of could understand that and maybe be a little bit encouraged by their performance despite the loss?
Yeah, I mean, we were down 4-0 before we got an out. It's really unusual. Maybe not being down 4-0, but no outs. And so we fought back, and like I said the other day, we had at least two, maybe three balls that would have been out of the park. Wind howling in from right, and they had one for sure. So we almost caught them, and we had our chances, but I like the way we fought. I like the attitude in the dugout, and there's a lot of frustrated players, and whether it's about offense or defense or just winning or losing. I saw a lot of guys that were into it.
Thanks, Dave.
Steve, go ahead.
Coach, you mentioned frustration. When you've got so much of the season left to play, how as a coach do you kind of help them navigate through that where maybe they're not pressing as much?
Yeah, you just got to communicate as best you can. Obviously, I let my hitting guys work with the hitters and same with the pitchers. But then the head coach has to get involved and just talk to them about, maybe the mental side of it. And, this is what I think of you, and try to pump them up a little bit. And, hey, we're going to need you and you'll get another shot, or whatever the case may be with that individual, just to keep them working. And that's what we tell them. You might sit down for a game or two, or maybe a week. We're going to keep working with you. And, when you get in, go out and show some improvement, and, probably being there a lot more. And it is a long season. SEC plays 30 games. It's not all about the weekend series. Obviously, both teams want to get off to a good start. It's pretty demanding, but it's 30.
Coming back around. Ellis, Matt, Hutch, anything else?
Yeah, Coach, Gackel's been pretty good. I mean, through 6 scoreless innings last week, but I think everyone that knows him knows there's a different level that he can get to. How important is this start for him? Obviously going to face a really good lineup, but to kind of set that tone of competitiveness for your team taking the ball first this weekend.
Well, it's obviously important for him individually because he knows he's better than what he's thrown, and then for his teammates and coaches to see him perform against a team like Mississippi State with the numbers they have, and the lineup that he's going to have to try to navigate through. It'll be a big challenge for him, and he's usually stepped up to that challenge. Now, going to be a big crowd. The weather's going to be great. I mean, for 2 days here, we're going to have perfect weather to play college baseball in. So I don't know on Sunday.
Matt, anything else, Hutch?
Yeah, I do have one more. You said you scheduled Stetson the way you did, ending on Monday, so you'd have an extra day of rest. Has it paid off the way you hoped it would to this point?
Well, the extra day of rest is really for the pitchers. Just sometimes you just never know. If you got a team here and they want to play 4 instead of 3, maybe it makes sense because they're here. Say you're supposed to play on Tuesday and you get weather. You need to get some guys out on the mound. Yeah, it's worked out. We didn't win, but again, it might have been a good thing. We got to see some things, got some guys in there. The guys got some hits, swung the bat well, and I saw a lot of fight. But the rest really is maybe just to give some of the bullpen guys another day.
Coach, thanks for your time. See you this weekend.
Okay, see you guys.